Hello everyone, it's Mike again from ReplicaAirguns.com, and I've got another airgun here for you. This product is a Crosman 1088 in silver. Now, there is a black version also, but I only have the silver one, and I'm only carrying the silver version in the Replica Airgun store. So let's go over some of the main specifications. Now, it's a non-blowback pellet and BB shooter, so it can shoot both pellets and BBs. Comes with these little rotary magazines, and they're magnetized. Let me show you. You can see that they're magnetized, so they hold the BBs in there as well. It uses 12 grams CO2, and again it has these rotary magazines that hold 8 rounds each. BBs are pellets, and of course that would be .177 caliber pellets and 4.5 millimeter BBs. Now this gun, here's another one of these good points. This gun has a rifled barrel. Another good point, this gun shoots both in single and double action. Here's another good point. It shoots up to 430 feet per second. Now that would probably be with the BBs, not so much the pellets, because they're a bit heavier. Now this gun isn't necessarily a replica, but it does closely resemble the Ruger P345, and that's a semi-auto pistol. Another good point, this gun is made in the USA. Okay. Alright, so what do you get on this gun? Well, on the left side here, you get a lot of these sort of, engraved markings on here, and I don't like that, but at least it's the same color as the gun, so it doesn't stand out too much. You have your safety. So to fire this gun, it's got to be basically coming out this side. So when you push the safety from the other side, you'll notice that there's a little bit of red here. That indicates that this gun's live. So if you push it in, it's safe. Okay. Everything else on the side of this gun, the slide release and the magazine ejector, is molded into the gun. Let's take a look at the right side. Again, here's the opposite side of the safety. Push it in from this side to make the gun go live, to take it out of safe mode. Again, there's really not too much going on. There's this ejector port. It's not really cut out, but it sort of looks like it is, so that's kind of nice. That's about it for the right side of the gun. You've got your model number here. And you'll notice that the trigger is kind of neat. It's sort of like the 1911 style trigger. And you would almost think that it would be hard to pull, but the trigger pull is pretty good on this gun. Alright, on the bottom you have your accessory rail here, which is nice. And I'm not going to focus in too much here. There's not a lot to see. But you basically take your grips off here to get access to your CO2. And another bonus here is that the CO2 screw is all metal, including the tab. A lot of guns are going cheaper and making this plastic, which kind of makes me nervous. When you're putting a lot of pressure on the tab, to me when I'm dealing with plastic, it kind of makes me nervous. Now you just snap these back in, put them back on. And what I like about it is that you don't see your CO2 screw, so it looks a little bit more realistic that way. On the top you have your front sight. There's no white dot or anything, but the back sight is black, so you get the nice contrast between the silver front, black back, which makes it a little easier to sight this gun in when you're shooting at targets. And the other thing to note is this rear sight is adjustable, so you can adjust it for windage, which is nice. There's just basically two little screws you undo in the top here, and you can move it from left to right. And then you also have this little switch here, and the switch allows you to, when you pull it forward, it gives you access to the rotary magazine area, to the loading bay. Magazine goes in with the little notches here facing forward, and you just pop it in. Okay. And in the back here you have your single and double action trigger. It is a metal hammer, which is nice. So it does have a bit of a weight. You can feel it. One thing to note, and let me show you this, when you're in single action mode and you're shooting, if you just creep your finger a little bit, it'll sort of decock. Well, that one didn't, but it can decock on you a little bit. Yeah, it's not doing it for me now, but I found sometimes instead of shooting it would decock on me. So just remember, when you're shooting this gun in single action mode, you'll find the sweet spot in it pretty quickly, but I found if I pulled the trigger just a little bit too slow, it would almost decock on me. Alright, so let's take a look at the target really quickly here. Now, when I shot this gun, I did it in single action. I took 8 shots because it has an 8-shot rotary magazine from a standing position 20 feet away with no rests of any sort, and I shot this gun about 2 to 3 seconds apart. Now the first shot kind of caught me by surprise, and I shot a little high. So I want you just to remove this shot from your mind here and just look at the remaining shots here. And we're in about a 1 1/4 inch grouping. So that is not too bad at all. And that again, 20 feet away, freestanding position, fairly centered on the target, about 1.25 inches. That's really not bad. Now having a rifled barrel and using pellets definitely helps. And that's probably why I got such good results with this gun. I also shot 5 rounds through my chronograph to get an idea of what the real world feet per second was. And keep in mind, it's fairly cool. It's maybe about 10 degrees Celsius where I am, so it's not warm. With my 5-shot test, I averaged just about 350 feet per second, and I was using 6.9 grain pellets. So really, that's not too bad. I could see this gun easily shooting in the 400s with BBs.